And we continue at 1:06 in the afternoon. Talk Radio 790 KABC, the John Phillips Show, broadcasting live from the Morongo Casino Resort and Spa Living Room Studios, where you should always hit on 16 if the dealer's showing a 10. Mr. Randy Wangs at the sports desk in Culver City.
John, what does it say about the California real estate market when a condemned home that has a meth lab inside it in San Jose is listed for $1.5 million?
For a meth lab?
That's right. I mean, it is an investment opportunity. You buy that house, you could be ranking in the dough.
Now, is that technically a fixer-upper, or should you just continue producing the meth?
When you buy the house, do you have to take down the chain link fence yourself, or they'll open it up for you once you purchase the property?
If you were to buy one of those homes, wouldn't you always sleep with one eye open, thinking that the old crowd that used to show up for the meth may not know that the title has changed?
Not only that, most of the chemicals that are used to make meth can be explosive or poisonous. So I wouldn't be sleeping well in that house at all, let alone looking at the mortgage for a $1.5 million house at 8% interest rate.
Zero chance I would buy that. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to like to go to these open houses in the neighborhood just to see what was there, see what was available, see what homes were going for. And every once in a while, he'd see something better than what we had, and he would consider buying it so we could sell our house and move into the other one. Never did it, but considered it at times. And there was one house that we went to that was 2 stories, which I always thought was super neat. And it was right around the corner from where we lived, and it had a huge pool and lots of trees and seemed like a great house. And as we were walking through the house, and all of us were really digging it, we were told the story that it used to belong to a drug dealer who was murdered inside the house. And that's when every single one of us, except for my dad, soured on that house instantly. He didn't seem to care.
This house has a story to tell.
Yeah, no kidding. But you're going to need a Ouija board to tell it. 800-222-KABC is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Randy, we have an update to make on the story of a woman who was sexually assaulted by a naked homeless man in broad daylight in downtown Long Beach.
We've actually got 2 updates. Let's start with the first one because Fox 11 legend Ed Laskos talked to Long Beach residents who aren't surprised at all that this kind of nonsense happens when you have downtown Long Beach that's the end of the line for the Metro Blue Line. Would you like to hear that report first?
Let's hear it.
The end of the line metro stop in Long Beach, now the target of safety concerns by those who live nearby.
Pretty terrifying. I feel like it's very dangerous in this neighborhood lately. Yeah.
It's gotten that bad here?
Definitely, yeah.
Everybody right now that lives in Southern California should look at Metro's 20-year plan and see if they're expanding into your neighborhood anytime soon.
If they are, sell, sell, sell.
I know the gold mine's getting close to Claremont. Watch out.
Uh-oh.
And their growing concerns right here in downtown deal with a rise in crime and the arrest of several homeless people now turned violent like this man.
I wonder if they got prosecuted.
Of course not.
30-year-old Miguel Avila arrested after this attempted sexual assault of a woman just last Friday, and it goes down in broad daylight.
We need to do something. We need to do something soon. The trains, the buses, as well as what's happened over here. Yeah, we need help.
Need help, he says, and now it seems the mayor agrees. He's out urging enhanced public safety measures.
We have to address the mental health and substance use challenges. So I'll be calling on the county.
Wait, how does that stop the rapist?
No, that doesn't stop the rapist. That does nothing to stop the raping.
So we have to address the mental health and substance use challenges. So I'll be calling on the county for additional mental health and substance use resources in our downtown.
That tells you that Rex Richardson is not taking this situation seriously.
No, a woman got sexually assaulted in broad daylight, and his answer is to go beg the fake doctor for money?
The mayor and city council tonight doing just that, moving quickly, ordering a renewed look at specific strategies targeting the homeless and public safety downtown.
Well, to be clear,
how about once the end of the line happens, you get them on a bus and get them somewhere out of Long Beach?
You know, Dick Reardon, when he ran for mayor of Los Angeles, we had a horrible crime problem. This was back during the crack cocaine epidemic. The LA riots just happened. The city was disgusting. The city was just burned to the ground, graffiti everywhere. And we had a city government that couldn't do anything about it. They were just wringing their hands. And he ran on the platform of Dick Reardon, tough enough to turn LA around. He didn't run as a guy who wanted to collaborate with fake doctors and pass out more meth pipes and that sort of thing. He ran as a guy who was going to get into office and kick ass. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what we need right now. But you notice all of these politicians, none of them say, I'm tough enough to turn the city around. I'm going in there to kick ass. None of them will make that statement. None of them will make that point, maybe less crassly than how I just did. But you get the idea. No one's saying that. We need accountability. We need more resources for the drug addicted and mentally ill. No one wants to talk about punishment or consequences or simply getting them away from the rest of us.
We shouldn't have had the situation happen in the first place.
That as the victim in last Friday's assault says she is ready now to fight back.
I have pepper spray and I have a taser on its way. And I will be getting my gun license.
She's going for the hat trick.
Wow, she's got everything on Batman's belt.
Still, the threat from the homeless continues. Many here say it is tied in part to Metro's end-of-the-line policy. You know what that is, right? That's when everybody's forced off the trains at the end of the night, sending the unhoused off into the streets of safety, and now it seems here a financial concern.
All of the money that has been spent to revitalize downtown Long Beach, to make it to an attractive place for young people to go, to enjoy the weekend, and it's all been destroyed by Metro.
Think about all the money wasted, not just on that, but think about how we keep taxing ourselves over and over and over again to provide more resources for the homeless. And the more we tax ourselves, the worse the problem gets.
And the more we tax ourselves on Metro, the further the problem gets into different parts of the county.
It's definitely affecting businesses. People are not wanting to sit outside. People aren't wanting to go to these places as often because they don't feel safe.
And the threat is coming from the homeless people.
I would say yes,
They're
mostly.
walking the streets.
And drug addicts.
Okay. Potato.
Now let's hear more from that mayor, Rex Richardson, in this report from KTLA.
Cher Pedro, the victim of this assault, says she wants to see tougher penalties for people who commit these kinds of violent crimes.
You notice how the victims of crime are never the ones talking about restorative justice?
No, they're not talking about restorative justice. They're not talking about alternatives to incarceration. They're not worried about the disappearing of criminals. They want their tormentors to be punished and removed from society.
This man is a rapist. He should be castrated. If you can't do that, lock him up.
The mayor also addressed the attack today during a press conference about the city's homeless crisis. He says issues of mental health and substance abuse here in this downtown area have to be dealt with first and foremost.
So the sexual assault has to take a backseat to passing out the meth pipes?
To be clear, every resident deserves to feel safe as they walk through our community, any part of our community. And this incident is absolutely unacceptable.
For the first time, the mayor of Long Beach reacts to shocking video showing a homeless man jump up from the sidewalk, unzip his pants, and then pounce on an innocent woman just walking down the street.
That's not mental health. That's not addiction.
No, this guy's a pervert.
The perpetrator, identified as Miguel Avila, was later caught, charged with sexual battery, and is currently in custody. The mayor...
And the only reason he's in custody is because the news cameras are on a hawk on this story.
As soon as we start paying attention to something else, they're going to let him out.
The mayor not taking questions, but saying it's a stark reminder of the problem the city and others are facing.
The reality is that the substance use challenges and mental health challenges are affecting downtowns across our region. And that's why I'll be asking for an enhanced focus on our downtown. This means an update on strategies to continue the strong recovery of our downtown with a focus on additional public safety measures.
The victim...
You mean like the guy pulls his pants down, you hit him with a billy club?
No. If that's what he meant, that's what he would say. What he's saying now is probably something like more safety ambassadors and more cameras and more lights and those sorts of things. They don't want anyone to go to prison.
Who did Long Beach choose? Who did Long Beach not vote for that this guy got in last year?
I don't know what's in the water down there.
The victim, Rebecca Peterson, works in the area and was completely caught off guard by the attack.
My first initial thought was like, is this someone I know, like playing a joke on me or something like that, you know?
You got some weird friends.
Well, typically, if it's the homeless, you can smell them a block away.
And then it was like a matter of seconds. I was like, oh no, and he's not letting me go. So I just turned real quick and then fell to the ground.
Many people citing the assault as part of a growing problem in Long Beach, rampant with routine vandalism, break-ins, and now even more serious physical assaults. This business owner says he plans to leave if the situation doesn't improve.
You know, it's a total reactive police force. We need a proactive police force that has a beat cop situation down here to knock down the street crime. It's causing all of us that own down here, condos, homes, businesses, we all have an exit strategy in our phones.
Meanwhile,
oh my.
But here's the problem. The problem is not with the police department. The problem is with the mayor. You just heard the mayor. The mayor fundamentally does not want the cops to go catch these people, throw them in the back of the black and white, and take them to prison. They do not want that to happen. Well, if you don't want that to happen, then the cops can't do their job. And if the cops can't do their job, they're just going to react to crimes after they occur and write the paperwork.
Meanwhile, Rebecca wants her experience to serve as a cautionary tale.
Everyone needs to be armed with something. Every woman needs to be armed with something to protect themselves and take defense classes. That's what I'm about to just start doing.
Good for her.
Absolutely. I would add a second thing. Change the way you vote. Stop voting for people like that mayor. If you vote for people like that mayor and like George Gascon, you can buy all the pepper spray you want and take all the karate classes you want. You're still going to be looking over your shoulder every time you leave the house.
Long Beach PD says since the attack, it's stepped up patrols in the area and it's using its neighborhood safety bike team to engage with residents and with neighborhood groups.
Can we do something a little more scary than a bike team?
Here's what'll stop crime. Lance Armstrong.
It's hard to be intimidated by a police officer in bike shorts.
No, you could let Lance Armstrong go back on the steroids. He still wouldn't intimidate anyone.
That's the very latest from Long Beach. I'm Rachel Menitoff. Cher Pedro, back to you in the studio.
So we're seeing inaction from the mayor, and the woman that was sexually assaulted on Friday has decided to get pepper spray. She's ordered a taser, and she's going to go get a gun. She's also taking a self-defense class. She's doing all of the above because she no longer feels safe walking in downtown Long Beach in broad daylight.
I would love to know what the karate classes are filled with right now. If it's all people who have been mugged recently.
I mean, heck, our friend Marla Tejas was just taking one after she got chased around the city by that crazy guy that was going after her when she was on a run.
Did your mom ever put you in karate when you were a kid?
Why, yes, and I was terrible at it.
So was I.
I don't think I got above a yellow belt.
You know, you have this idea in your head as to what the karate class is like because you watch The Karate Kid and all those kung fu movies. And you think, okay, I get to go in there and I'm going to be there with some guy that looks like Bruce Lee and we're going to be breaking boards.
No, it's just a bunch of kids in robes and everything in the building smells like feet.
And no one pays attention to anything the teacher says.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if those classes would help me in a sticky situation.
A taser might.
A taser would, although I'm an awful shot.
All right, let's get you some bear mace.
Yeah. If there's something that's meant to stop an angry several 100-pound bear, then maybe that could block someone on meth who's coming after me.
But I totally get why this woman's ready to defend herself, and I bet she's not alone.
Is bear spray even legal in California right now?
Probably not, but they don't arrest you for committing the actual crimes. You think they're going to start arresting people for having the wrong kind of bear mace?
Try to buy it on Amazon. I'm actually curious.
Okay.
And I know they'll block you on Amazon if it's illegal in California, because when I was trying to get a coffee pot filler for the new coffee station I'm putting in my house, it was outlawed by the state of California because that's what's causing the drought.
This, according to the Riverside County news source, you can buy bear spray, but it has to be a container of less than 2.5 ounces.
Well, is that how they typically sell it, or is that like the travel size?
That's the fun size.
Okay. Well, if it's legal, that's an option. But what this victim had said is something that is not uncommon. We hear victims say similar things all the time, including the mother of the 13-year-old that got jumped by a grown woman at a Harbor City McDonald's. They have had it. They are fed up. No one wants to be beaten. No one wants to be sexually assaulted. No one wants to put up with that nonsense. And since the cops won't do anything about it, the elected officials won't do anything about it, the district attorney won't prosecute anyone, people are trying to figure out what they can do on their own to protect themselves. As Randy mentioned, this woman is taking several precautions on what to do to not be the victim of a sexual assault a second time. So here's our question to you at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Have you taken any extra precautions recently to make sure that you're not a victim of a sexual assault or a battery like the two women or woman and a girl that we talked about on today's program? Have you bought the bear spray? Have you bought a gun? Are you taking karate classes? Did you get a taser? Are you doing something proactively to protect yourself, knowing that the system won't? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, if you missed one of the episodes from last week and at 3:01 you're saying to yourself, I wish John and Randy were still on the air, you can make that happen.
That's right. Just go to KABC.com, click on podcast, go to the Apple Podcast app, iHeart, Spotify, search for The John Phillips Show, hit subscribe. You can download all the episodes that way. Or you can search for the KABC app, search KABC AM in the Apple App Store, the Android Store. Easiest way to listen live to this show and this station between noon and 3 whenever you're outside of the AM radio signal area. I mean, you can listen worldwide to this thing, and you can download all the podcasts of this show. So between noon and 3, listen live on the KABC app. 3 and noon, listen to the podcast. I know there's other things you can listen to, but
you don't have to do this.
Just listen to this show.
It's Woo Wednesday.
Ric Flair, can we hear it again?
It's Woo Wednesday. Yeah, baby. Woo, 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 woo.
And Randy, that means tomorrow is Throwback Thursday.
That's right. And if you'd like to participate in Throwback Thursday, send us an email at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Subject line, Throwback Thursday. Tell us your favorite artist, genre, or theme, something real creative, something real weird. Whatever it is, tell us what you're thinking. And at 2:30, we'll choose one lucky listener who picks all the music for Throwback Thursday. Send us your emails now. Throwback Thursday. As the subject line, the email address is johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com.
And coming up in November, Randy, we're going back on the road.
That's right. This November, on Friday, November 17th, Johnny and I are going to be broadcasting live at the brand new Gelson's West LA at West Edge. It's on 12121 West Olympic Boulevard at the corner of Olympic and Bundy. It's opening very soon, and we're going to be there broadcasting live from their huge wine bar on Friday, November 17th. So make sure you reserve the day off. Tell your boss you're not coming in on Friday the 17th because we're all going to hang out. We're all going to have a great time at the Gelson's West LA at West Edge, Friday, November 17th.
My mom just texted. She's disputing my claim that I wasn't any good at karate and I would be a horrible shot. And her evidence that I would be a good shot was that at basketball camp each year, I'd always win the free throw shooting contest.
Has she seen you play golf?
Now, I'm not saying I don't have any kind of coordination skills at all. I can make free throws. But making free throws is different than shooting a gun. Just because I can make free throws doesn't mean I can shoot a movie with Alec Baldwin. Two separate skill sets.
You are a rude, thoughtless little pig. okay?
The victim of the Long Beach sexual assault says she is taking karate classes. She bought bear spray. She has a taser, and she's getting a gun. She doesn't ever want to be the victim of a sexual assault again, and she doesn't believe the system will protect her. She correctly believes she's on her own, and she needs to do what she needs to do to protect herself. I want to know right now at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222, if you're doing the same thing as the woman in Long Beach. I'd love to hear your stories. Your calls up next. We're taking your calls right now at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. The victim of the sexual assault in Long Beach says that she's not going to rely on the system to protect her, and she doesn't want to be the victim of another sexual assault. So she's buying a gun, taking karate classes, loading up on bear spray, and also purchased a taser. Are you doing similar things to protect yourself, given the fact that the system won't? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. And Randy, let's go to the phones.
Let's start with Becky in Altaloma. Becky, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. I've lived in Long Beach my whole life, and when I go downtown, trust me, I don't wear a short skirt, backless dress, high-heeled shoes on a cell phone, oblivious what's going on.
Wait, are you blaming the victim here?
Wow.
Hello?
Yes. No, it's appropriate measures.
I don't know. If I were a good-looking woman and I had a job in downtown Long Beach, I'd wear that.
Yes, because you're inviting someone. Actually, you are. Especially homeless people.
Wait a minute. I don't think she's dressing like that to impress the homeless people. She's dressing like that to impress the boss.
Then cross the street. Go take the bus. Don't be on your cell phone unaware of what's going on around you. Doesn't the police say be aware of your surroundings? Yes, they do.
Okay,
So
thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
That went a different direction.
Do we know what kind of job this woman has?
We don't. But she works in downtown, so you got to assume some office building.
Okay. If you're working in some kind of white-collar corporate job and you're an attractive person, part of what makes the world work for you is letting the world know that you're attractive. You don't want to wear a burlap sack to work if you're an attractive person. You want to dress professionally. You want to look good. You want to wear nice-looking clothes. And if you've got a good figure and you want to show off that figure, I'm not talking about dressing like Jessica Rabbit. And I saw the video. She wasn't dressed like Jessica Rabbit. She didn't look like a streetwalker. She looked like an attractive professional woman.
And she should be free to dress like that because it's broad daylight in a downtown and she should feel safe.
Imagine if you're a doctor and some pharmaceutical rep is showing up to your office to try to sell you more Xanax, and they show up in a hazmat suit. You're not buying any drugs from them.
Let's try this again. Monica in Acton. Monica, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, John and Randy. Yes, the system is broken, and I am all for firearms training. I hadn't shot in a long time, and about 7 years ago, I took a class that is sponsored by the NRA. It's called Women on Target, and it was a class for women only that taught firearms training for women that have never shot before or have shot very little. I took the class. I shot handguns, shotguns, rifles, and I loved it. So I kept going back, and then I took some more of their other classes, and then some of the instructors there said, we want you to become an instructor. So I did. I took the NRA firearms training. I became a range safety officer. And, for example, where I live, we have a California conservation camp for prisoners. We just had a prisoner escape last week. And so I think do anything you need to do to protect yourself because the system is broken. And if it's firearms training, find a good program that will teach you how to shoot safely. That's number one. So programs like the NRA Women on Target, I would highly recommend that to anybody if you want to learn how to shoot firearms. And you shoot to multiple different kinds of firearms. You find one that you shoot better than others, and it's all done in a safe area and safe training. And they teach you safety, and that's number one. But
I need to take one of those classes because I bought a gun for the first time some years ago when all the big cities were burning down. And I learned so much when I went into that gun shop and purchased my gun. For example, do you know that when you buy a gun in the state of California, you have to wait 10 days before they'll give it to you? I didn't know that. And when the guy explained it to me, I said, why do I have to wait 10 days? I'm mad now.
And there's a new law now that they videotape you when you go in to purchase a gun. They're going to videotape you. I don't know what that means, but maybe so you don't buy a gun for somebody else. But that's a new law that's coming to California. And
good Lord.
You have to show your ID when you're buying ammunition. So they want to know what type of ammunition you're going to buy, which they never used to.
Well, I'm surprised in the state of California they would require you to show your picture ID before you purchase anything, because for half of these people, that's going to let the cat out of the bag that the credit card is stolen.
Thanks so much for the call, Monica. We appreciate it. 800-222-KABC. How about Frank in Woodland Hills? Frank, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hey, guys. Just my thing is this. Just pay attention, use your brain and just look at your surroundings. I don't own a firearm. I'm not against the Second Amendment or anything like that, but we need to, when we go out to vote, that's another biggie. How this guy Gascon still hangs on, it's amazing to me. If you trust, the voting, and let's all assume that it's all true, who are the people that go out and say, no, this guy is perfect for L.A. County, and yet we complain about it? So there's where the disconnect is, at least for me.
Well, I don't know if they're all cashiers, but I can tell you they were all dummies when they went and voted for George Gascon.
If the cashier is dummy.
Thanks for the call, Frank. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. How about Mark in Long Beach? Mark, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, how you doing, Randy? How you doing, John?
Good.
Hey, yeah, I carry a club.
Like the thing that's supposed to keep your car from being stolen?
No, I cut it off of a tiller from a boat.
Okay.
So it's pretty rugged. It's not going to break. And I got my wife a taser. We live in Long Beach, not too far from where this lady got accosted. And we worry about it all the time out there.
Have you noticed it getting significantly worse over the last couple of years?
It's gotten a lot worse. I married my wife 3 years ago. She came here from Japan, and she loved it. Now she can't wait to move back.
Well, it's gone from being a zombie apocalypse movie to being The Purge.
Exactly.
Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. The woman who was sexually assaulted in broad daylight in Long Beach says she's taking karate classes, she's buying a gun, she's buying bear spray, she's buying a taser. She's no longer going to rely on the system to protect her, and she's not interested in being the victim of a sexual assault for a second time. Are you doing the same thing? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. We're taking your calls at 800-222-5222, 1-800-222-KABC. The woman who was sexually assaulted in broad daylight in Long Beach says she doesn't want to be the victim of a sexual assault a second time, and she doesn't think George Gascon's going to keep her safe. So she's buying a gun, taking karate classes, buying bear spray, buying tasers. Don't mess with her. What are you doing to protect yourself in the event that a bad guy wants to hit you on the head? 800-222-KABC. Randy, let's go back to the phones.
Let's go to Carmen in Brea. Carmen, you're on the John Phillips Show. Hello.
Hi, guys. Well, I just wanted to let you know that what I carry on me is I have a personal alarm that's on the outside of my purse. I have a taser that doesn't look like a taser. And I also have a toy that it looks like a toy that hangs on my purse, but it's actually like a half-inch razor. And I have them in different areas, so it's easy access. I would be able to get my hands on any one of the three to keep myself safe. But thank goodness I live in a nice area right now, but I travel around, and there's some areas that I go to that aren't as safe as when I'm at home. So that's what I have on me.
I love the fact that in your purse you have the exact same variety of foreign objects that Ric Flair would keep in his tights to cheat to win the match.
Woo!
Very apropos on Woo Wednesday. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Let's go to Carmen in Brea. Carmen, you're on KABC. Hello.
That's who we just took.
Oh, bye, Carmen. I liked her so much I wanted to go to her again.
You're going to have to listen to the podcast.
All right, let's try Vicky in Huntington Beach. Vicky, you're on KABC. Hello.
Hi, John and Randy. I'm an ex-grocery clerk, and what I carry with me is a simple can of Easy Off oven cleaner. It has lye. It will sting the hell out of you, and it gives you a chance to spray and run.
And then after you take care of them, they're squeaky clean.
That's true. Hopefully it cleans them up.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
We here at KABC don't actually advise you spraying someone in the face with oven cleaner, but go nuts.
If they're trying to sexually assault you, yeah, we do. Let's go to Lewis in Thousand Oaks. Lewis, you're on KABC. Hello.
Hello, John and Randy. My name is Lewis. What I carry to protect myself, I'm 73 years old, and I travel all over Southern California, repair work, glass repair work. I carry what you call a Berna. It looks like a semi-automatic, comes in orange and black, but I carry orange. That way the police know that it's not a gun, it's a projectile launcher. Okay, and it shoots hard plastic projectiles, and it hurts. Okay, my first round coming out of the magazine, it's a hard projectile. The second one, it's pepper, like a pepper powder. Now for that, I took a course in which allows me to carry in California pepper in the projectile, and it shoots 5 rounds, and it hurts, and that's what I carry.
Have you ever had to use it?
No, I haven't had to use it, but I not actually shoot it, but I did pull it out on a guy. He was 22-year-old, and I'm 73, and I have action. My shoulders are in not fighting shape anymore. Anyway, I pulled it out, and as soon as he looked at it, and he saw the big hole, the big barrel coming, looking at him, he backed off, and that was it. Diffused it, and if I had to use it, it's non-lethal, so that's a big advantage. You won't kill the person, but you will hurt him. And if you shoot him in the face, he's done.
It's non-lethal, but you'll shoot him with enough black pepper to give him GERD.
Oh, yeah. The first one will back. If he doesn't back off with the first one, which is a hard projectile, if that doesn't stop him, then the second one, it has a pepper powder. Third one, hard projectile. The fourth one, powder again. And the fifth one, hard projectile. Now, with 5 shots, he's got to give up, unless he's on drugs. But, if he's on drugs, if I shoot him in the face, that'll stop him, definitely. It gives me enough time to run away. I can still run. I cannot fight, but I can still run if I have to.
Right. If they're on any drug other than PCP, I think you're in good shape.
Oh, I think so, too. I definitely do, yeah. If you look at it in the website, Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. It's great. I highly recommend it.
I'm going to send that to sales.
Thank you for the call, sir. I appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. The woman who was sexually assaulted in broad daylight in Long Beach says that's never going to happen to her again. She's taken karate. She bought bear spray. She bought a taser. She bought a gun. She says she doesn't want to be the victim a second time. What are you doing to protect yourself? 800-222-KABC is the telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. More of your calls coming up after the news. If you're on hold, stay there. If you want to weigh in, give us a call. We're here live and local until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is Talk Radio 790 KABC.
Not a day goes by where I don't wish I could just wave a magic wand and silence the gunfire.